Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Magnetic Cage Closed. Let's see if I can get the controller to work. No, it's been a couple of days, so... Okay, now it's working, good. It's been a couple of days since I last played. I think we were right at the beginning of a puzzle here in the second section. And so yeah, we just hadn't walked around this part to see what's going on this way. So, is there really something to this? Like, do I really have to push myself to jump to get past that part to not burn myself? I guess maybe I do.
These puzzles were designed to give you a sense of accomplishment, even if all you really managed to achieve was putting a few boxes where they belong.
So I guess what I'm supposed to do is something like this to get up to this point. Now I remember the clunky controls here. This layout is terrible. There should be, like, I use an Xbox controller. I usually like Xbox layouts, but there really should be a control set up here that is different. Let me see if we can find something. Layout 2. Maglev 3 apparently is going to come into place. And see, that would be the problem. If this was a PlayStation controller, you would have L3 and then L2, but I don't, so and I really don't want to learn new controls. Ideally, what I would like is a strength meter that went up as I held the triggers down, so it started kind of weak and then it grew later on. Actually, that may have worked. Yeah. See, down there is just poison, so there's nothing to really deal with on that. Feels like we're still kind of doing pretty simplistic puzzles, and I honestly don't think that we're gonna run into any other endings unless there was a possibility of just staying in the jail cell after each section.
I really hate these playground shenanigans. They make this place look juvenile, and we have a job to do. The upside is that many take them too lightly, and the look on a prisoner's face when they go down a slippery slide straight into the gas is amusing, to say the least.
Right.
So, you've got another box on your hands. Now you just have to figure out what to do with it.
Put that. Let's see, and you don't really have a zoom in view, so there doesn't really seem like there's too much of a height issue. So, for instance, if I was to put this here and then do this, at best that is just balancing it out. If I put it way over here, it does hold a little bit of time, for a little bit of time. But yeah, this is not particularly doable. And I don't even think there is a way up here. So you can stand here and be outside of the poison for that much, but that's not going to do anything for you. And it seems like the poisoning is getting worse with each breath. So the point of pushing myself, seriously, is this it? Okay, well that sucked. Also, this kind of sucks. And that kind of sucks. Interesting, I can pull myself towards that, but not enough to pull the box out of it. So, we come over here, get a box, grab this, we go over here, and we then shoot that box over to that point. And then I'm supposed to use this to get myself up, and I failed at that. But I've managed somehow to actually succeed. And looky there. Still a lot of wonky controls here. See, and now if this turned off the gas, that would have been great. There and hope that that gets me high enough, and it doesn't. Oh, this is so wonky. And see, that was just a matter of timing, I guess, more than anything else, and probably didn't have a lot to do with the cube as much as it did. It had to do with just I was supposed to pull myself up. Put that back there. Like clink, clink, clink. Also, honestly, I know we've only been playing for probably an hour, but this is a mix-reviewed game, and I can see that. So I would be kind of happy if we were a quarter of the way done right now, possibly.
All right, listen. This chamber has not been completely validated yet. Someone upstairs thought it would be interesting to give our intern a chance to redesign one of the earlier chambers. And this is the result.
Okay.
Jenkins, a prisoner has entered your little creation. If she dies in there, I'm buying you a beer.
Alright, where did the cube go? Oh. So I can't pull that away at half power. Interesting. So it's like they intentionally have it set so it grabs it and interferes a little bit with it, but not really. This is more just the wonkiness of the physics happening here. I suppose the good news to say is that, and I imagine, is that both Unity and Unreal have announced upgrades and attempts to fix their physics engines so that they're more accurate. They probably could use some of that, but also a lot of this is not a real problem of the engine's physics code as much as it is a problem with it being too precise and there not being some dumbing down of it, because that's really what this should be. Now what? Interesting, there's 2 elevators there. And what happens? We have a green thing here and a green thing up here. And I guess what I'm supposed to do, I probably would be a smart move to grab the cube while we're at it. Alright, fine, you just lock up there. That's fine. When I think about how I played Mirror's Edge, for example, I really don't believe that I was doing all of those moves and just being an awesome parkour expert in video games, considering how there really hadn't been any other parkour elements or parkour games of any real note before Mirror's Edge, the original Mirror's Edge, not Catalyst. I knew the game was cheating. When I was playing Portal, I knew the game was cheating. There's entire developers' commentaries talking about how the game was totally cheating you, and not cheating the player, but cheating on the behalf of the player. Aw, seriously? They both have to be pressed at the same time. It must be very good because everything around here is attracted to me. I don't even know what that means. I think that's supposed to be a joke, but I don't know what Kim's is. So the thing is, if I get off of that point, will the gate start falling down or stop?
Oh, looks like Jenkins will have to go thirsty a little bit longer. Maybe the next one that comes through is a little less careful.
So, I guess I could have killed myself there and given the intern a beer and maybe gotten an achievement.
That suit you are wearing
This is like
to endure a bit of heat, but nothing of this magnitude. Those boxes, however, are made of more resilient stuff.
So apparently standing on top of these things is also bad.
When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. Somehow, I don't think that part of the scripture was meant for you.
Alright, let's just double check this. block a lot of fire, certainly. And there's, I guess, a level here. Some of these sides don't open. And the little projector of the flame was blocking the path. But frankly, I would prefer to push it than pull it. That being said, I guess I can't get up where I need to go if I do things that way. And I can get up here, and I can get up here, and I can get on top of this. But I assume I am going to reach a point where I want that cube over on this side, and I'm supposed to be pushing all of it over. Like there's a box here, but I can't fling this giant cube. And see, I'm much more interested in doing something along the lines of the Talos principle and just jumping over and around things than trying to solve the puzzle in the way it's supposed to actually be solved. So this is the spin the cube to get it to slide in these directions and gain some momentum. We can just bring it over here. Come on, a little bit further. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to get out from under this though. Alright. Almost got burnt. What's the point of the stair-stepped elevator floor plan? There we go.
You have passed this trial by fire.
Oh, I guess that.
But I feel I must disappoint you, prisoner XE4762. Purgatory is not done.
Apparently, it gets quieter if you start climbing through. So there's...
You are free to choose which part of this puzzle you wish to solve first. Our dear psychology expert might say something about how that helps you vermin retain a small sense of control in your lives. Personally, I don't care which trap you fall in, or where you misstep. Sooner or later, you all make mistakes. It's just a matter of time now.
It's kind of contradictory to your stated goals to do all of this. Like, are we testing guns or are we just torturing prisoners? Because it's more efficient to, if you're just torturing prisoners, to torture prisoners directly. It's more efficient to test guns to not antagonize the people testing their weapons. There's no fall down that direction, so that was kind of pointless. How does one get up here? I guess you need the cube. I missed it. I thought I was going to need the cube over in this part, but whatever. We'll just work our way through this. The prisoner numbers, by the way, are really high. spikes on the walls. I feel like this is probably an introduction of something new that we'll start running into more often. This feels like you could possibly just squeeze a thing into. Okay, there's more this direction. There you go. Take that. Let's do 3 first. And sure, one false jump could kill you. They don't even make you jump back. Of course, the level of skill here to jump is really more around your ability that you would have learned from other games, not particularly an ability that you would have picked up in this game, because we haven't been doing a lot of jumping. Interesting red plates out of nowhere. There we go.
Seems like you made it through the first part somehow. This evaluation module holds no more chambers. I guess it's time for another therapy session with our dear Karen. Have fun making your choice.
So, yeah, I really wouldn't be upset if this was the halfway point of the game. 9 endings.
Prisoner XE47623.
There's 8 remaining.
So you've managed to survive Mr. Keen's rough treatment. That is fortunate. We get so few prisoners with true survival instinct these days. But I digress. You have come here to answer another question after all. Leave your device at the stand and we shall begin.
Apparently these glasses block magnetic ability.
In the last room you passed, there were a number of boxes, buttons, and traps. They all have a purpose. You use them to progress in your journey. But do you really see them? Do you appreciate them as you use them to get what you want?
I mean, honestly, not very much. I mean, they're, I guess, critically important in this instance. See, this might be another ending if you just stayed in this room and got gassed, but I haven't been gassed at.
How many boxes did you use in the last chamber? Think, and when you have done so, step onto the correct button. If you choose poorly, I have no choice but to reprimand you. In here, paying attention to your surroundings is not voluntary. It's the only way to survive.
How many boxes did I use?
The countdown has begun, so I suggest that you make your mind up.
I know I used at least 2. Yeah, I think 2 is the right answer. I mean, we could die here, but I kind of don't even care about the achievements. This game's not that good, so I'm just gonna say 2.
Very clever. A good memory, or perhaps an emphatic streak. Most people have trouble with such details. I would hate to think you were just lucky.
I mean, that may just be lucky. So, Portal 1 spent a lot of its time characterizing the character you're playing as, at least in part by showing Chell, the character you play in Portal, as kind of a victim of GLaDOS. Whereas this really doesn't seem to be working. Maybe it's because that is already been done once, and it just feels very repetitive. Maybe because GLaDOS is a lot more lovable than this psychologist and this doctor and this warden. The psychologist and the warden characters. I would also say the puzzles are not very fun or interesting. They're too short, they're too consistent with the same elements. It feels too much like an asset flip and not enough like a unique, highly polished element. When you look at the game The Witness and how polished that game is, like, that game could have been awful, The Witness, if it weren't for the fact that they spent way too much time polishing things and making it look really, really good. Because The Witness, by default, is just a bunch of line puzzles. It could have easily looked like a low-effort Unity game. Just one-screen Unity mobile game. They won't let you leave, blah blah blah. Seems like it's the same scrolling each time. Just little experiments of blood here and there. This is a lot of blood.
Rise and shine, prisoner. It's a beautiful day outside. Too bad you decided to break the law and won't have a chance to see it.
Yeah, it seems like you could be gassed.
About your little counting success yesterday. Seems like you won't have to go through the correctional chamber. Now, enter the transit and let's see what kind of stunts you will pull off this time.
See, and that sounds really annoying. Like, I had 3 opportunities to fail there, and I would have seen more content, apparently, if I had failed. Now I'm missing out on content because I got it right. That seems ridiculous. This feels like a game that's trying to make it seem like you would want to play it multiple times through, particularly with all these transition things. But you really don't need any of these transition things.
Good old facility.
Just make a hallway.
You were actually quite
like, just let me walking through this, and as I'm walking through a hallway, just have somebody talk to me.
The kind of experiments people are doing down here. These days, it's easy for people to just disappear. People don't want to ask questions about a few missing prisoners on death row when the threat of a nuclear war is hanging over our
Apparently
heads.
we're on a nuclear cold war.
Nobody asks questions. Nobody really wants to know. What they want, what they demand, are results.
What results am I really showing? A magnet gun is helpful in a very consistent, like pre-planned, laid out puzzle room.
Dead down here or up there, it doesn't matter that some questions remain unanswered, as long as we deliver what is asked of us.
It seems very odd that you can apparently just stay in the transit room forever and not get gassed. Like, it would have been better if they had just put a exploding collar around your neck and said that if you disobey at any point, it would blow you up your head.
The last one you had. Apparently, a new prototype is being put into play here, and you will be one of the first to try it out.
One of the first. These rooms are all the same. Prototype 28.
What the? Jenkins! Didn't I tell you? Well then, prisoner. The D-28 prototype might be powerful, but it can also be a little unstable, as you just experienced firsthand. Seems like you came away in one piece, though, and no one is more overjoyed by this than me. Not everyone gets to keep their hands when this happens. We'll send a new one over, and this time, I will make sure that it's stable.
So the whole gun blew up. And now this is still the same prototype. but it's now capable of doing 3 times the amount of power. Not that up until this point we've even really been using the single power. It's pretty obvious. With better writing, with better puzzle level design, you would have spent a third of the game, probably up to this point, with just single powered mag gun, and then introduced at this point a second power, and then closer to the end introduced the third power. Maybe at the very end we'll get like a 4th power mag gun, but unless it becomes so powerful that it magnetically rips the iron out of the blood of humans, I still don't really see how this is a actual useful gun. Even if it was that powerful, it would just rip the iron out of your own bloodstream. The other thought here is, since it's a magnetic gun, if people were shooting bullets at you and you could really fast like suck them toward you and then shoot them away, or really fast shoot them away, that'd be great. But look at the speed up here to get to full power. That's pretty slow. Like, it's 1, 2, 3, it's about 3 seconds just to get to full power. Well, anyways, it's been another 30 minutes, so let's end this recording here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.